Hey everybody, Greg Pruett here with the Idaho Second Amendment Alliance. And before we get going on today's topic, please be sure to subscribe to our channel, whether you're watching on YouTube or Rumble. Preferably make sure that you're watching on Rumble and subscribe to Rumble, just because of the YouTube algorithms and all that kind of stuff are not beneficial. And Rumble actually gives a little bit of money to the ISAA for ad money. So you're helping get the ISAA a little bit of donation money that we can use. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I wanted to jump on today to talk about, I got a text from a friend, and I didn't get permission to say who it was, so I'm not going to do that. But this friend reached out and sent me a news article and said, hey, pretty sure that they can't do this. And when you open up the link, the headline says, Jerome County bans guns at courthouse. And I thought, well, that's interesting, because the courthouses are a place where concealed carry can be prohibited. Okay, and that's in the statute, the Idaho statute. But and the courthouse situation in Idaho is a little weird, because there are or were some courthouses that didn't have security. Like years and years ago, I'm not saying there weren't security in there, but you didn't have to go through any type of security. Down in, I want to say Power County, I was going down to meet with the prosecutor to talk about a preemption thing. And it was the first time I had ever been to the courthouse. And Power County is American Falls, area. And so it's a small county, super small county, which American Falls is down by Pocatello, but it's a 20-minute drive out. So it's separated, but small town, small county. And I walked right into the courthouse. And I didn't have my firearm with me, because I just assumed, I ended up locking in my car because I assumed it's a courthouse. There's going to be metal detectors and the sheriff and all that kind of stuff. Walked right into the building, and I was like, what in the world is happening? So that was my first experience. And apparently it's that way with a number of courthouses across Idaho, where there's just no security, because some of our counties are very, very rural and very unpopulated. And so they probably can't afford to even put a security guard, or, a sheriff, deputy, or whatever, with metal detectors and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so it's not necessarily that you're going to, like, if you live in Ada County or Bonneville County or, Jefferson County even. I mean, there's a lot of counties that do have that situation at the courthouse. Anyway, so when I saw the headline, I thought, okay, that's interesting. And Jerome's a bigger town, a bigger county. I would expect that the courthouse probably already has security. So that's kind of weird. And so the more we dug, it was interesting, because they apparently built a new courthouse, which I've now been told isn't really, it's new, but it's like almost 10 years old. So it's not like this is some change that happened in the last, like 3 weeks ago, we built a new courthouse, and now the Board of Commissioners is voting to ban guns at the courthouse. That's not what's happening. Okay. So number one, understand that the ISAA is investigating this. We're talking to our attorneys. We're trying to get answers to some additional questions, because there's some problems here. What has happened is there's the new courthouse, that's like 9 years old apparently, and then there's the old courthouse. Okay. Now, under Idaho law, concealed carry can be prohibited at a courthouse, but the old building is not a courthouse anymore. It's not a courthouse. It's an administrative building. That's not the same thing. So that was already like, okay, but it's not a courthouse anymore, right? The judges aren't holding court hearings there, my understanding. Okay, then again, this is why we're investigating that it's just not a courthouse anymore. There's no hearings. There's not, like, the sheriff's department isn't in there holding prisoners, any of that kind of stuff. It's literally just an admin building. Okay. Under state law, the courthouse can be banned. The admin buildings cannot have bans. If this is truly an admin building, and that's what it is. Additionally, the Board of County Commissioners does not have the legal authority under Idaho's preemption statute, which is an 18-3302J. They don't have the authority to do anything with regulating firearms. That is the whole purpose of the firearm preemption statute, is to prevent county commissioners and city councils and all that kind of stuff from banning firearms. Now, again, I don't really trust the news, okay? But if you're reading the news articles, they're like, well, for the protection of our employees, we decided that we're going to, and my understanding is now they've put up signs, and that there is now a sheriff's deputy that is now, I don't know if there's metal detectors, and if he's just at the entrance, and if he's wanting people, like, again, we are doing investigation into what is happening, and talking to our attorneys about all that stuff. Okay. I'm gonna read a little bit of the statute here for you. And the whole purpose of a preemption statute, by the way, is so that we have the same uniform laws throughout the state. So the cities and counties don't just get to go, well, we want to ban guns here because of X, Y, and Z. We want to ban carrying here because of this, that, and the other. Okay. The whole purpose is that you as a citizen can carry on public property throughout the state of Idaho, and you don't have to worry about guns being banned in one place and not banned in another, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's the whole purpose of the preemption statute, which, by the way, lacks any teeth. We tried to add some teeth to this statute this year. We tried to add some teeth to it, so that people who knowingly and willfully violate the statute can be held accountable. But, you know, government doesn't want to punish government. And the Senator Jim Guthrie, who's the chair of the Senate State Affairs Committee, just decided, no, not even going to give it a hearing so we can have a debate about this, about adding punishment. Anyway, so it's 18-3302J, Part 2, except as expressly authorized by state statute, no county, city, agency, board, or any other political subdivision. Basically, there is not a government official in the county, elected official or otherwise, of this state may adopt or enforce any law, rule, regulation, or ordinance which regulates in any manner the sale, acquisition, transfer, ownership, possession, transportation, carrying, or storage of firearms, or any element relating to firearms, components thereof, including ammunition. Okay. A county may adopt ordinances to regulate, restrict, or prohibit the discharge of firearms within its boundaries. However, ordinances may ordinances adopted under this subsection may not apply to or affect a person discharging in self-defense, lawful hunting, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Again, a county is not allowed, a city is not allowed to just make votes to ban guns in government buildings. That's not a thing. Okay. The courthouse, they can ban guns in a courthouse, but even then, the county's not doing that. That's already under state statute. That's going to come probably from a judicial order, that the courthouse is going to be protected under that statute. So the vote, regardless, is, in our opinion, a violation of the preemption statute. So we're going to keep investigating. We are working on this as quickly as possible. This is the kind of stuff the gun owners in Idaho are not going to put up with. And if this other building, if it's not a courthouse, not just that it used to be a courthouse, that's not a thing. I don't even care if it still says courthouse on the building. If it's not doing court procedures and that kind of stuff, then we have a problem. Okay, a big problem. So we're going to keep looking into it. We will keep everybody informed, because our understanding is now there are other counties that have this similar situation. They've built new buildings and they're still looking at banning guns in the old buildings. We want to have some answers on this as quickly as possible. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully that helps clear up a few things, and what the ISAA perspective on this situation is as of right now is this doesn't look good for Jerome County, and we're going to investigate. We're talking to our attorneys, and we're going to get a few more questions answered, and then we'll move forward from there. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Take care. God bless.